Okay, let's move on to our second problem. So here we're going to determine if our graph was stretched, compressed, and or reflected. And we're going to identify the factor and or the line of reflection. So we're talking about the A value here. So my A value for 2A is -1. So -1 tells me that I did not have a dilation. So there was no stretch or compression, but it was reflected, and I should say a vertical reflection across y equals 0, which is the x-axis. Okay, my A value for 2B is 4/3. That is more than 1. Okay, 4/3 is more than 1. So this was a vertical stretch. So when it stretches, it makes it skinnier. And it's not negative, so it did not reflect. Our A value for 2C is -1/3. The 1/3 is the dilation. So this was a vertical compression by a factor of 1/3. Do not tell me, don't put -1/3. The negative tells me it reflects. So then there was a vertical reflection across y equals 0. I'm going to back up here and make this more complete. So this is a vertical stretch by a factor of 4/3. And 2D, our A value is -5/2. So let's look at just the absolute value of A first. So 5/2 tells me this is a vertical stretch because it's more than 1 by a factor of 5/2. It's negative, so it is a vertical reflection across y equals 0. Okay, number 3, it says describe the order transformation, use appropriate academic discourse. All blanks may not be used. Okay, identify the vertex and y-intercept. So my vertex is -2, -7, and then my y-intercept, I'm going to put in 0. So when I put in 0 for x, I get 2 and then squared. So order of operations, so 2 squared is 4. 4 times 1/2 is 2. And then 2 minus 7 gives me -5. So 0, -5. Okay, first of all, we're going to talk about the horizontal. So 2 shifts left. Then we're going to talk about the possible dilation. So we have a vertical compression by a factor of 1/2. It was not negative, so it didn't reflect. And now lastly, we're going to go 7 units down. And that's it. So we didn't need number 4. Okay, 3B. Our vertex is 4, 3. And now let's calculate our y-intercept. When I plug in 0 for x, that gives me -4 squared. So -4 squared is 16. Then I'm going to multiply this fraction times this whole number. So 2 can go into 16. So 2 goes into 16, 8. And then 8 times -3 is -24. And then plus 3, that gives me -21. Okay, we're going to talk about the horizontal shift, the dilation, the reflection, and the vertical shift. Number 1, 4 units shifted to the right. Then 3/2, just not the negative part, 3/2. that is more than 1. So this is a vertical stretch by a factor of 4/3. Then let's talk about the reflection. This is a vertical reflection across y equals 0. And then we went up, so 3 units up.